Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a video to prepare you for the upcoming Zhongli banner. In this Gacha rates and guide video, we'll look into a number of methods to get Zhongli on the new banner. We'll look into the pity system, how the soft pity works, with diagrams and also video to explain those. So I prepared some of the diagram for us, lots of rates, lots of excels, and lots of things can be very helpful to understand and also get better rates. We'll also be looking at using the existing history of Gacha accumulation for each of our own accounts, and how can we check and guarantee that the next character is going to be Zhongli after the limited banner. We'll also look at how to get more Primal Gems, how does rerolling work with patch 1.1, and what are the items and rewards we can get from rerolling at different adventure level with 5, 7 and 10. Finally, we'll go through some of the Gacha myth and also tricks that is very popular with the community, such as finding a lucky period with your account, going to the wishing statue, relogging and using a new device, or maybe listening to a special music, dancing, or other more things that people do for gachaing. Now I'm sure most of us know how the gacha system works with Genshin Impact, so basically if you have rolled 90 times, you are guaranteed to get one of the 5-star characters, and if you don't get the first limited banner character like Child on this banner, you'll be having another 90 rolls to guarantee the second chance of getting the limited banner character, and that will be 100%. So in total, we're looking at 180 total rolls of 28,800 Primal Gems for the worst luck in the Gacha history. But in reality, we have discovered that this is not the case. There is a small and hidden soft pity system in the game. So basically, after getting over 76 rolls, your chance of getting a 5-star character dramatically increases. I'm very thankful for Leah over here to send me this on Twitter. So what we're seeing is, if you look at the yellow dots, this is what we thought is happening with the Gacha games. So you start from 0% of a 5-star up to 100% on the 90th row. But reality with the game and testing with the game, what we realize is it's actually following the blue bar over here, or the blue lines. So around 76 rows, what you're going to see is your chance of getting a 5-star item dramatically increases. And notice how it jumps massively before 80. So what this means is, between 76 and 80 rows, we have about 50% chance of getting Zhongli. This is because there is a really high chance of getting the golden item on this curve. As you can see, it massively increased before 80. And we know that there's a 50% chance if it's a golden item, it will be Zhongli from the banner. Now this was explained into more details as we look into some of the Chinese calculations behind 1 billion simulations of the Gacha system. You can see that I've highlighted on the 76th row, we're looking at 20% rate, and the rates also increase up to 80% with a really high rate. If you want more details on this particular video, I do recommend coming over here. This is a really helpful video, and what basically that means is we want to do single summons over the 10 times summons. Now there are 2 reasons why we want to do the single summons over the 10 times summons. I won't go through all of them into details because this video does explain them more in detail. So what they mean is, the first thing is you can break down the rates and also you can benefit from each of the rate increase as you summon them. You can see on each of the rows the rates are different, and sometimes you can benefit on that. And second to that, you don't want to over summon. Let's say if you were getting 76 on your 5-star, you don't want to summon over 76. So doing single summons saves Primal Gems and also give you a better rate. And if you're really short on time, what I recommend is doing the 1st to 20th row on the single summons, and then do the 10 times summons to the 70th row if you don't get him, and then do the single summons between 70 and 80th row to have a really chance of getting a 5-star item and also a 50% chance of getting Zhongli. Now you might be wondering, how do I know how many rows I'm at, and how do I know what is my Gacha or the wish history? What we can do is, if we come back into the game, you can see there is a history button over here. If you click on the history, and what you want to select is, you want to select the character event history. And after that, you want to go back a little bit until you find your last 5-star. Once you see your 5-star, what you do is you count forward. So I can count 3 over here, and we can count about 6 over here. So I'm currently onto my 9th row. What this means is that to get to the 76th row for the soft pity, I'll have to roll another 67 times. And what I'll do is, I'll try to do some of the single rows for the next 11 rows, and then if I'm short on time, I'll do the 50 multiple 10 times rows, and then for the next 10 rows, I'll do the single summons, as we said over here, between the 1 to 20 and 70 to 80. If you guys are wondering, what do I mean by getting a 100% chance of getting Zhongli? What I mean by that is, if we come and have a look at the mechanics of the Genshin Impact wish system, There are two mechanics. One is that we're guaranteed to get 5 stars on the 90th row, but with the soft pity that we look at the previous videos, it's actually 76 and higher to 80. And the second mechanics is that if we don't get a limited character on the first 5-star item, the second one will guarantee us with the limited item, which can be Venti, Klee, and Child on the previous banners. So what this means for us as players is that up to 76 row, if you do get a 5-star item, look at the item. If it's a limited banner item, then you pretty much got Zhongli. If that is not a limited banner item, your next golden item will be Zhongli. But there's a little more to this. If we come back to the history of the gachas, and if you look previously, if your last 5-star item on the limited banner is not the limited banner character, like Child on the banner, or Klee or maybe Venti, then you actually receive a guarantee for 100% chance to get Zhongli on the banner if you get your first 5-star item. You start off with a case that you have not gotten anything, so you start with case 3. You'll be rolling up to 76 rolls and you'll be guaranteed with Zhongli. And this is by far the best ways. We had some of the viewers saving the rolls and saving the PT system, knowing that there is a guarantee for the next banner. So what they used to do is, they used to roll up to 60 or 70 on the previous banner, let's say Klee or maybe Child, then they wait for the Zhongli banner, then they roll for the rest of the 6 or 10 for the Zhongli banner with a guarantee for Zhongli. And that is knowing that they have gotten an item that was not the limited character before. Now I know it is a little confusing to understand the whole mechanics with the gacha. Basically, if our last item on the limited banner is not Venti, not Klee, or not Child, then the next 5-star item that we find will guarantee to be Zhongli. Now if you haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so. Make sure you also turn the bell on for the latest news as I find more of them for us. You can see that we're really dedicated for Genshin Impact. We'll have builds, guides, tips, news, and events updates for everything that's Genshin Impact related. Now, one of the biggest problems free-to-play and low-spending players have is not enough Primal Gems, and this is when the rerolling method comes in handy. What is rerolling is that we start a new account and use the new account and all the new gems and the new wishes we get from the new account. We try to get lucky with Zhongli, and if we get lucky with him, then we can play him on the second account and try him out. There is a downside to this because previously we were getting a lot more Primal Gems, a lot more rewards with the patch 1.0. I have checked for the patch 1.1 rerolling system, and currently, upon reaching adventure level 5, we will get the 10 acquaintance fates but no Primal Gems. With adventure level 7, we don't get anything special. And finally, with adventure level 10, we'll be getting only 10 additional acquaintance fates, so we don't get any Primal Gems unlike patch 1.0. So if we're looking to reroll for Zhongli with a new account, what we're looking at is only 10 standard wishes and 100 each gems for adventure level 5, nothing for 7, and for adventure level 10, we're only looking at 22 standard wishes and 500 each Primal Gems. We can of course get 5 intertwined fate from the Primal shop, but in reality, it will take 1 to 2 hours to get to adventure level 10 for this, so it is not a good idea to reroll for Zhongli with patch 1.1. Next up, we'll go to some of the unscientific and unproven tricks and myths with the gacha and wish system. The first one I'm going to talk about is find a time when you think your account is really lucky, and this could be the time you drop a 4-star artifact from the monsters from the wild, or maybe you get a 5-star golden artifact from the dungeons, which you normally wouldn't get. And we also talk about this in more detail on this video. Basically, it uses the pseudo-number generator system as the backbone of the scientific method. And that is why in this previous video, we talk about how to test if your account is lucky, and then how to capitalize on this chance. Keep in mind, those are not scientific, and those more like myth with the gacha system. And this one by far has more, backbones to it. The other ones, like wishing on the particular statue. For example, on this previous video over here, I was wishing on the goddess's statue in Mondstadt. And what you can see here is, after making my second 10th roll on the statue, I was really lucky enough to get Child, and this is during the Child banner. So with only 20 rolls, actually on the 11th roll we got Child. This was really nice and really lucky back then, but I can't say this statue is the thing that gave me the supreme luck. Maybe it is just random, and maybe the statue have no effect. So I thought I'd share this with you guys, because it did work for me on the statue with Child, and this might work in the future. We'll give this a try again. Now, some of our viewers has told me that they have tried to relog before summoning or before wishing for new characters. They also try to get a new device or format a new device download the game, and then try with a new device, new IP, trying for the gacha and wish for the first time to see if they get lucky. Some of them got really good results, but I can't say this is a proven trick because we don't want to restart the device all the time, and some of us use computers. So I thought I'd share this with you guys, but this is not proven and this is not confirmed. And finally, there are other gacha rituals such as listening to a special music, dance before you summon, wash your hand, a lot of other things. We won't touch those on details, but there's a lot of things people do to get super lucky. Now before we go into the video summary, it is very important that we consider to not overspend with our money in the free-to-play gacha games. With every new banner with Gacha Impact, every 20 days we look at a new banner, and if you try to guarantee yourself with Child, Klee, and all the new units, like Zhongli and maybe Xiao in the future, we're looking at least $200 USD spent every month. And that is when it's really important for us to realize that, is it really worth it? And do I really want to spend this much for the virtual characters? And that is why it is very important for us to set a personal limit or budget before the banner or the patch comes live. We don't want to be flooded away by the hype or the excitement of getting a new character. I know a lot of us like Zhongli, and myself included. I have made a promise to myself that I will not spend more than $50 a month in this game, and because of that, I'll be trying to save a lot of Primal Gems, trying to doing a lot of the free-to-play Primal Gem methods. I'll be on the lookout for more Primal Gems rewards for us, like new events, new ways to get more Primal Gems, or maybe farm with achievements. So this way we can get as much as Primal Gems as we can, and we will try to not overspend in the game. To summarize this video, it is important that we understand we probably don't need 90 rows to get a pity, basically a 5-star item. We're looking at about 76 to 80 rows for each of the 5-star items, which have a 50% chance of getting Zhongli. It is better to go with the single rows between 1 to 20 and 70 to 80. We also had a look at how to check for histories, how to check if you have a guarantee for Zhongli already after accumulating another item on the previous banner. We also had a look at if it's worth it to reroll for patch 1.1. The answer is no, because it will take a long time to get to adventure level 10, and we're not getting any of the intertwined fate for the limited banners. The standard wish does not work on the limited banners. And finally, we touch up on some of the gacha myth and tricks which are not scientifically proven. And also we talk about we should not be overspending in a free-to-play game, and how important it is to set a personal budget before the hype or before the patch comes out. Now if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Genshin and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.